The Hammond organ is an awesome sounding instrument. I love it when it's right up there in the mix, in bands like the Doors and the Charlatans, but it can also be super effective when it's less prominent in the mix to glue together your electric guitars. Let's dive straight in. Okay, so here's our Hammond organ as is. This is from Air Music Technology, I think the name is. It's DB33, their plugin. And it's without an amp sim as well. I actually found that this sound when I was recording this track just worked better for this purpose. And what I'm really looking to do with this Hammond organ is not necessarily for it even to be that audible, for it to blend in with my electric guitars and help glue them together. So that's as they are. Now I'm going to bring in a channel strip, this one, an API from Kit Plugins. A couple of things that I've done already with this plugin is roughed it up a little bit with their preamp, and it sounds really nice on this plugin. So even when it's pushed, it sounds pretty cool. I'm kind of treating this organ and thinking of it really like a guitar because I really want to blend in with the guitars, and we'll have a look at that again in a moment. I brought in my filters, high pass filter, low pass filter, so I'm really focusing in on that mid-range. Of course, I'm using my high pass filter to also make sure that I don't need that low end stuff from this organ, and also I want to mitigate and roll off some of the harshness too. And Hammond organs can get really harsh past about 2K. Just be careful when you're working with the mid-range because it can get pretty unpleasant on the ears past around 2K if you're making any boosts. But I'm going to move on to that mid-range because that's where I'm focusing in on. So I'm going to also bring up my two buses of electric guitars. And what I'm going to do is a sweep around the mid-range. So I've dialed in a 4 dB boost with this mid frequency, and what I'm looking for is to find the sweet spot of the organ. And I know sometimes saying that can often leave you feeling like, well, I don't really know what the sweet spot of the organ is. What am I listening for? When I'm dealing with wanting the organ to serve this purpose, I'm really looking for it to kind of lock in tonally with the guitar, so it all kind of comes together, and it's enhancing the tones of the guitar and just sitting where it needs to sit. So let me show you as I sweep through the frequency, and let's try and listen out for that. So I'm going to kick things off at 800 Hertz. That's why I think sometimes having these notch frequency bands can really helpful, because they give you 4 or 5 options there and you've just got to choose the one which is your favourite. But I'm thinking around 1.5K is where it's sitting quite nicely with these guitars. And of course, when you are working like this, it's completely crucial that you are working with the guitars and the organ, and then in turn within the whole mix. Otherwise, if you're here looking for a sweet spot, it kind of feels like, well, where do you start? You can hear around 5K that it's getting harsh. Let's bring our guitars back in. So it's doing its job, it's helping to glue those guitars together, but it's really quite low in the mix. And it's one of those ones that you really feel, a bit like when you take bass out of a mix, suddenly you're like, whoa, something's different here. So take a listen to the chorus when the organ comes in, and then we'll take a listen to it without the organ.
Target to me. Lose these guys, community comes, kings and knives will make it stop. Someone please free the bass, and now we got line.
And with the organ muted.
Me. Lose these guys, community comes, kings and knives will make it stop. Someone please free the bass, and now we got line.
This time I'll start with it on, and then I'll take it out.
Lose these guys, community comes, kings and knives will make it stop. Someone please free the bass, and now we got line.
So that's a Hammond organ sitting low in the mix, but really helping to push that chorus and bring those guitars together We added some saturation to give it some life and soul and grit. We used our filters to focus on the mid-range, to preserve the low end of the mix and to avoid harshness. And then we brought in some of that mid-range along with our guitars to complement those guitars, to find the sweet spot. And then finally, just listening to the mix right now, you can really feel the difference it's making, even if you can't really audibly pick it out. If you want to start making smarter mixes right now from your home studio, I've got a 7 steps mix method guide. You can grab that from the link below this video. I've also got a bunch of home studio production and mix courses. The link for those is below this video too. I'm going to give you 10% off those courses right now with coupon code YouTube10. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe here on YouTube. Most importantly, go and have yourself a great day.